This is a new LiTime battery, something I haven't seen before. It is exactly the same as every other battery in every aspect. All the quality you come to expect from LiTime, the capacity test, as you'll see, normal. Everything worked exactly the way it always worked, with one exception, one important exception. It has Wi-Fi. And to be honest with you, at first I was a little worried about the Wi-Fi. I didn't think it was going to work well. I wasn't considering, some of you may need this, and there are some circumstances where it's very useful. So once you launch the app with this one, and I'll show you a picture of the app. It's the same app as that you've used before. You just have to download the current version. When you go in, you can set up. It'll pop up a Wi-Fi setting. You give it the Wi-Fi SID and the password, and you can access your battery from anywhere in the world that you have access to the internet. It's pretty darn reliable too. That was the part that probably surprised me the most, is the fact that it actually works. So it's the same battery, and I don't know that there's anything special about it. It's 12.8 volts, 100 amp hours, 1.28 kilowatt hours, or 1280 watt hours. All the capacity is the same. It's a standard Group 31 with the standard Bluetooth if you want that also. But if you're one of those people who need to access your battery and you have Wi-Fi available, then this might be the right solution for you, because I haven't seen any performance difference between this and all of the standard LiTime battery. It's exactly the same battery. It looks like they just added the Wi-Fi. And I might say they did a pretty good job of it. It doesn't act like it's new technology. Now, I will say when I first got it, I did have a little bit of trouble getting it working and stuff, and I wrote them and I said, hey, look, I can't get this thing to connect correctly. It doesn't seem to want to show me the state of charge correctly. It shows it's connected, but it didn't quite work. They said, oh, no, 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 no. Download the new app, and I think they pushed an upgrade to the battery's firmware. I don't know that for sure, though. And from then on, it has been solid as a rock. I mean, solid as a rock. I have not found a single instance where it has given me a problem. So I'll give you a couple of cases where things that I thought might cause it trouble. Ran it down as far as I could till the battery shuts off. Now, when it shuts off, you don't have access to the Wi-Fi. But as soon as you turn it back on, you do. And it reconnects very good. Now, I have moved the battery out of location, back into location. I have changed the Wi-Fi from a Starlink to a regular home to a hotspot in a store somewhere. And I have tried a variety of different ways, but once you get that Wi-Fi connected, it seems to automatically detect when it has problems and reconnect and resynchronize, and you won't ever notice it. It's been extremely reliable. Now, if this changes, or if you have one of these, or you get one of these and you have problems, please let me know in the comments, because I'm saying here that it works, and if that's not true, I really want to let everyone know that that's not true. But as it stands today, I've had this thing out here running tests and stuff on it to validate the actual battery content, and not once have I had a problem other than that initial getting it configured that first time. And once I got the new app, I have not had a single problem. So, uh, other than that, the battery is identical to the one before. I did load test on a standard 0.2C, which 20 amps or so pull. It was just fine. I did a 500 watt load test of about 35 amps. It worked just fine. I also did what I'm calling my BB test, where I ran just over 50 amps 3 times in a row, and all 3 times there was absolutely no problems. There was no heating issues, no swelling, no nothing. Everything functioned just the way the specs called out for it. Now, in this particular case, the battery did call out that it could do a 100 amp discharge. So I did run a 100 amp discharge or a 98 amp discharge all the way down. Also, no problems there. I only ran that one once, but that proved that it worked. Now, the thing that I did do that I will show you is I also ran a 250 amp load on it just to see if the automatic shut off and stuff works, and you'll see those results up next. Now, for the capacity test, I did all of them performed right at 100 to 101 amps. There was no overperforming. None of them showed a significant increase over 100 amps, and none of them showed under 100 amps. So it did pretty good there. What you put in is what you got out, and for the most case, slightly, I would see a tiny bit more go in sometimes than would come out. But other than that, the performance test were perfectly in line with what would be expected from a 100 amp hour battery. Maybe it could have been, it would be a little bit more impressive if it was showing 103 and 104 and allowing for some degradation, initial degradation over a little bit of time, but it still had 100 amp hours. It still performed, and I ran the test at all of these different variations, and none of them showed any significant difference. All right, so today, to do our high capacity test, I have some 1/0 wires running up here to a shunt. As you can see, the meter for the shunt is here, and it is going to my eco-worthy inverter that I use for all of this type of testing. And so here's what I'm going to do here. I am going to let you see the shunt. You can see the readout right here. Here is the battery. I am going to connect a couple of big devices here and see what happens when we significantly go over the limits that we're supposed to go over. So the first thing I'm going to plug in is a heat gun, and that will get us up into a decent range. All right, so we're going to start with a 800 watt load, which is about 65 amps, and as you can see, it handles this just fine, which we know that from the performance test we did, the capacity test that we ran. Now I'm going to crank it up over 100 amps. I'm going to turn the heat gun on high, and you can see here we're at 127 amps, and we're going to just let this run here for 20 or 30 seconds just to make sure that it doesn't shut down. All right, there's a good 45 seconds or so and no shutting down on it. So let's take this to the next level now, and I am going to add a saw to it, which initially this will give it a little bit of surge, and we will see how it handles it surging up to that level as opposed to just a consistent heat gun pulling on it. So here we go with this is the saw. And you can see the voltage drops a little bit to 12.5, but not a surprise when we're pulling over 100 amps out of a 100 amp hour battery. All right, so now for the grand finale test, I'm going to turn the heat gun back on, and then I'm going to turn on the saw, and we'll let it run for about 10 seconds at over 200 amps. And I'm hoping to see it shut down and go into the BMS to cut us off here. All right, that was definitely a BMS shutdown as the meter goes out from not having power anymore. We're going to turn everything off and unplug it, which tells me that the BMS did register that it was over 200 amps and it did shut down. This is a great thing. That means it passed the test and it did turn itself back on, as we can see here. All right, so LiTime, you got the overprotection, you got the BB test, and you got the full 100 amp hour draw all the way down for 100 amp hours of pull out of the battery. All around passed. And the new Wi-Fi, I give you 2 thumbs up for that one, as the fact that I can't believe it's so reliable. All right, so we're going to weigh the LiTime battery here, give you guys a weight. It is showing, let's do it in pounds and ounces. I'm going to pick it up, set it here squarely on the scale. 21 pounds, 9.2 ounces. And that is the equivalent of 9.786 kilograms. There's a bunch of good places where this battery will be useful. Remote backup systems that are out in the middle of the sticks that you're trying to do, maybe cabins, RVs, things like that that you have parked in certain locations that you don't have readily access to, but you want to monitor the batteries. This is a great solution for that because you don't need to have any special monitoring devices like a Servo GX or Signature or Solar Assistant or anything like that. You basically just hook the battery to the Wi-Fi, and as long as you have Wi-Fi, then you have a solution for that. It works great for running lights and fans and motors and chargers. And if you're not running an AC type thing, then it also works good because the Wi-Fi runs off of the battery power itself, so you don't have to worry about that. Hi, this is the LiTime battery, the 12.8 volts. A little bit better, a little bit newer technology. I don't know if I want to go so far as to say better. It does have Wi-Fi. It's very cool. The Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi both work pretty darn good. You saw how I configured it. You saw how reliable it was. I haven't had any problems with it. Let's go over the specs here. So this battery is 12.8 volts, as we said, 100 amp hours, 1,280 watt hours or 1.28 kilowatt hours. Charges at 14.4 volts for a maximum continuous charge or discharge current of 100 amps or 1,280 watts. It does have a continuous rating of 60 amps, and we did do some good testing on that, and you saw that. And it passed with flying colors, no heat, no problems, nothing whatsoever. Good, solid, reliable LiTime battery quality that we've seen in the past. I didn't have any trouble with it. The only suggestion that I've got that I would like to see for at some point in the time is these battery companies start putting 2 terminals in here. It would be very, very convenient for this if we could parallel these batteries or put these in series by having 2 terminals as opposed to 1. It would make them much more reliable, and it would be a whole lot more convenient at the same time. Anyway, it does come with a nice little handle here. We saw it weighs about 21 pounds, about 21 point, I don't think it was 21.9 pounds. It's in a nice black case. It's group 31, so it's fairly standard size. It does have an off-on button, which is not as common as you would think, although this is extremely convenient depending upon your use case, to be able to shut it off here as opposed to building some kind of off-on, putting an off-on switch in there or a breaker or something as opposed to a fuse. Operating temperature, 158 degrees max, and of course it's lithium iron phosphate, which is down at the around 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 Celsius is where it's operating is. It can go a few degrees lower, but it's not really advisable. Overall, it's a good battery. I'll include a link down below where you can get a discount on all the LiTime batteries. My thinking is at the time when I wrote this was still in some very testing mode, and they were seeing how it goes. It's gone very well, and I can't imagine that they won't include the Wi-Fi connection in with the 24 volts and the 48 volt batteries that they have out. I've also noticed that unlike the smart battery, this is basically just the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth version, and it doesn't have any of the paralleling issues that we see with the smart batteries or any of that. So that's really good, because I'm really been very partial to the dumb batteries lately, and because of the problems that are coming out with these. Now, as the technology gets better, I still would prefer. I'm still kind of puzzled why Bluetooth or Wi-Fi would get in the way of the battery operation, but it seems to have that tendency to do so. So hopefully they're going to resolve that and get that out of the way. Let the batteries be batteries. Let all the monitoring stuff be separate from it. A nice strap here. The best thing about this strap is it is removable, and that kind of allows you to take it off if you need to put it in some place where you don't want it, or something like that. And I know several times during setting up all of my video testing and everything, I would take the strap off so that it wasn't in the video and I could actually show you the top and stuff. But there are other legitimate reasons to do it other than just previewing and showing the battery top itself. Either way, it's a great battery. Links down below. Save, I think it's 8% is the coupon at this point. Anything on the LiTime site, please. It helps out, and I appreciate it. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does save you a couple bucks, so I'm glad to do that. Thanks for watching, and I really appreciate you guys. Have a great day, and don't forget, like and subscribe so you don't miss anything.